Elon Musk has been on a spree trying to reassure the right wing that he does actually have their back with this Twitter thing. He hasn't been able to deliver on all of his promises to them, but some he is making good on, including giving back access to the few right wingers who had been banned permanently from the platform. He already let Trump back on, and now Marjorie Greene's personal Twitter account is back. And I want you to just bear in mind as we get into what she's doing with that account once again. While her personal account had been banned, her congressional account was allowed to continue. This is not like with Trump where any account he tried to tweet from immediately got banned. She's been tweeting nonstop from her congressional account. And if you follow her congressional account, there ain't a lick of difference between that and what her personal account was. She could already say whatever crazy things she wanted. Now she can do it from 2 accounts. And here is what she had to say in celebration of the banning being taken away. I'm the only member of Congress the unelected big tech oligarchs permanently banned, which might say something more about you than about them, but sure. On January 2nd, they violated my freedom of speech, which has nothing to do with the actions of private companies. One would think she'd have had time as a congresswoman to eventually read the Bill of Rights, but she has not. She says, my account is back, go follow blah, blah, blah for MTG Unfiltered. And then she did a winky face just in case you had any food in your stomach that's now flying across the room. Okay, so by the way, really fast, is Elon Musk a big tech oligarch now, Marjorie Greene? I mean, he's the richest person in the world and he has sole control over a massive social media platform. I have a feeling you probably won't lump him into that group. But here's what she's been doing with her renewed access to Twitter. She's been on a retweeting spree of post-millennial things about her, one of which has her spreading conspiracy theories about the death of George Floyd. That's one of the first things she did when she got back on it, was start to lie about how George Floyd died. She then gave Alex Jones for being right about something she's calling the information war. I don't know what that is, and I don't know what her position is. When Twitter is controlled by a right winger and Facebook is controlled by a right winger, I don't know what more control over social media they could possibly have. She attacked big tech communists for silencing the voices of people who detransitioned and speak out against the medicalized gender transitions of children. So she's using it to demonize the trans community once again. And just as a reminder, the last tweets of hers that are still up on her account from before she was banned include her spreading COVID misinformation. That doesn't bother me as much. I mean, I don't like misinformation, but it's not like anything other than Marjorie Greene cultists are gonna follow her advice and inevitably needlessly die from COVID. So that's really for her side to police.
Then January 6th happens, and then you know, I organized the whole thing along with Steve Bannon here. And I want to tell you something, if Steve Bannon and I had organized that, we would have won. Not to mention, it would have been armed.
She's obviously very happy with herself. I mean, when is she not? The fans also seem to love the idea that she fantasizes about being in charge of Antifa super soldiers, I guess, leftist provocateurs that would be armed in this case and definitely would have won, which she doesn't define, but clearly means that they would have successfully overthrown the government. That in her mind would have been victory. Anyway, she has more to say about her theory.
See, that's the whole joke, isn't it? They say that whole thing was planned, and I'm like, are you kidding me? A bunch of conservatives, Second Amendment supporters went in the Capitol without guns, and they think that we organized that? I don't think so.
Okay, so as people in the chat are noting, not a lot of applause for that. Weird call on her part, but anyway, so in her mind, right-wing protesters always have guns. The fact that they didn't have guns means that they weren't right-wingers or something, even though she definitely thinks they're right-wingers, which is why she's trying to help them out so much in their legal troubles. So again, still confused there. But she believes that if they had brought guns, then they would have won. They would have succeeded, which would both be a good thing to her mind and make sense to say that they would have what? Killed Congress, killed the vice president, murdered all the Democrats. And what would the victory look like? Then Trump would declare martial law. Like the military wouldn't intervene, or in your mind are this pack of hillbillies with AR-15s going to take out the military? Obviously, it's difficult to know because she's an absolute moron, Francesca. But what do you think about her Handmaid's Tale fantasizing?
I just think it's incredible what she's wearing as she's trying to pass over this like coup plot. She's just got like this like velvet black dress with a big slit in her bright blonde hair. It's very like MAGA Miss Piggy. No disrespect to Jim Henson, but that's what she's given me right now. And I think it's ironic because she and Steve Bannon did plan January 6th. Like, I don't understand why she's washing her hands of the fact that she was giving tours to the insurrectionists weeks beforehand, that Steve Bannon is on tape discussing what they're gonna do, which is declare victory no matter what. He and Roger Stone are all totally on board. They know that this is gonna happen. They know what's going down. But then it's like, oh, we're gonna actually win. Yeah, no, and finally, they were armed. They were armed. Yeah. There were people armed with whatever it was, like, not firearms, mace.
No, they did find a few guns in cars, by the way. But yes, there were also. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we know they all had guns, right? Like, we know people were packing. Like, we know that from the fact that they weren't actually able to access the rally beforehand, and Donald Trump wanted to take away the mags, as he said, or any kind of security, so they wouldn't have to so they could go through. But we totally know that they were armed. That maybe they didn't, whip out their guns and start firing, but they were armed.